when we call it fake, is when you think about real food, you think about your root vegetables, you think about your vegetables, you think about your fruits, you think about, even if it's meat, if you know how that animal has been, what that animal has been fed, how that animal has been treated, is it in its normal environment, then you can know what's really good. If you have a local butcher, if you eat meat,
Yeah.
if you have a local butcher, you
Hmm.
can find out the history of where that meat is coming from. And when we don't, you go in the grocery store, you don't know what's in that.
Yeah. True.
And it's very deceiving, because dyes are used all the time, specifically on beef, fish, to make them appear, oh, it just looks so good. It's chemicals. It's all chemicals. And even some of the water that's added to like meats to make them think that you're getting some,
Makes it better.
right, makes them fatter.
Hmm.
It's chemicals. And so I don't know if that answered your question, but I feel like,
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, no, you did a real comprehensive, you know what I'm saying, in terms of sharing. But I'm just going to say, I'm going to drill down a little bit because of the fact that we don't really see this, but it refers to things that are highly, you understand, processed or artificial products that now imitate real food, but it lacks its natural substance. And so when we drill down, that even, you understand, brings it closer to home for us to now become more informed and more knowledgeable about some of the things that we've been eating over the years that we thought that was really, you understand, food that was okay for us. So I just wanted to add that piece. But you did a very extensive, you know what I'm saying, job of giving us what it means in terms of fake food.
and I would say too that, go back to some of the Bible is very exhaustive in the types of
Yeah.
foods that we should be eating. The Bible is replete. You have legumes, you have beans, you have sprouts. I mean, these are things
Mhm.
that the wheat, and let me just say, unfortunately, we talk about wheat in this country and it's a big staple, but the wheat is not wheat because it's so heavily processed. It may be 1%. And the wheat that we see nowadays is not the wheat that was even 30 years ago, even 20 years ago, because it's continually being processed and over processed. So you brought up a good point. It's so heavily processed that it tries to mimic the actual food, but it's not food anymore. It's fake. And the sad part is that most people don't realize it until something happens in their body, and now they're dealing with it. But yeah, the Bible is replete. I mean, between the veggies, the fruits, the all kinds of legumes, and the things that they ate in the Bible was, and we still have them around. But I will say, here's another thing: be careful when you eat out,
Yes, it's true.
because eating out, you have no idea
It's
what
true.
is in that food, or if it is food, or if it is fake. Because I mean, I know we've done this test. I think I did this test like maybe this was decades ago when I was eating like, the garbage food. I would say like McDonald's, for instance. And you have a French fry that may drop down in a car, right? If you go a year later and that French fry has not broken down, it's not real.
Right.
And so I think the other point I wanted to make before I show the video is that the nutritional value of food is getting harder and harder to get. So, say for instance, a lot of the nutritional value from even good food, it's not as high. The content of nutrition in that food that's supposed to give you is not as high as it was before. So, you really have to double up in order to be able to match the requirement that you need for your body. For instance, if you buy, let's just say a root vegetable or something like that, the nutritional value in that vegetable is not as much as it was 20 years ago. So the nutritional value is diminishing because the ground has been depleted of all the trace minerals, so we're now having to supplement things. But I think it's important to see how people are now starting to realize that we are dealing with some fake food. So bear with me. I want to show you. Did you have something else?
No, no, I'm ready for the video.
Okay, let's pray. Let's pray that I think it'll work. All right, let me. So I want to show you this. Oh, good, it keeps us in there, and let you see what's happening.
This food ain't real. This food is not real. This is bread. Mind you, I'm watching videos, so I remember that I had some buns in my pantry that I hadn't gotten rid of because I wanted some turkey burgers one day and I never used the rest of the buns. And I'm like, I know they should have maybe expired like December. It's January 7th. Y'all, this is the bread that should be expired. It should be molding or molded at this point. Why am I wringing it out like a dry, like this ain't food. That's not food. Y'all, I'm traumatized and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but now you're traumatized too.
Make that make sense. That is, I mean, seriously, that's just one instance of the bread and I seen this when I saw it, I was like, I just started laughing, but it's not funny. Bread is not molding. You should not be able to put a piece of bread underneath the running water and wring it out like it's a dish rag. That is not, it's not real food. So I want to show you this this next video. Hang on a second. Yeah, this is a part of what we are seeing in the food supply. No, hang on a second. All right, let's look at this one.
How to recognize whether you're buying lab-grown meat or conventional meat. They typically won't call it lab-grown or synthetic because that wording could discourage buyers. Instead, companies use softer-sounding terms that seem more natural. The keywords to watch for are cell-cultured or cultivated meat. If you notice those phrases on the label, that product was produced in a laboratory from animal cells. It did not come directly from a living animal. Next time you're shopping, read the small print. If it says cell-cultured, cultivated, or cell-based, you may want to put it back. Share this with your family so they know what to look for. And make sure to scan your items with the Neutron app to see what ingredients and additives are actually in your food.